What does it mean to have a beginner's mind? It's something I think so much about during this Christmas season as we prepare. If you're Christian and believe in the coming of Jesus and the birth of Jesus, we celebrate the newness, the pureness, the chance of renewal is all part of the preparation during this time. And this beginner's mind, how do we come back to that like childlike being, to that simplicity of just doing the small things well? We live in a world where what's celebrated is things like being an expert in a field. If you work in any industry, anywhere, it's required to continue to learn and gain new information and continue to pursue, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But at this time, I always think how do I recommit to doing the smallest things with great intention and with great virtue? And there's a couple of ways that come to mind. Number one is simply breathing well. Y'all, we have weird ways of breathing and it affects the total of our being, the way we think, the way we feel, the emotions that we experience, the way our body operates. If we could start taking even just one breath at a time with virtue and intention and considering feeling the whole body and letting our stomach go so that our diaphragm can lower, breaking apart this thing that feels so normal to us, right? We do it all day, every day, but breaking it down into the little micro steps that make any breath good, that has so much virtue. It teaches the whole of our system to follow along, right? That's one way. Another way is in the movements that we use. Our body is a vehicle for all of us, right? It's a vehicle for our mind. It's a vehicle for our emotions, our spirit. All things that live inside of us are in our body. And using the body to train the virtue, to train that beginner's mind, the newness of what could be, is so easy to pursue through the body. As an example, when I teach yoga, oftentimes we will do 3 squats in a practice. Oh, well, I can do 3 squats. Yeah, you can. But can we do them well? Can we have our feet positioned in a way that our hips are functional? Can we, as we lower, actually think about what's happening in the muscles in our legs? Are the, glute fibers lengthening? As we come back up, can we, because we meant to, contract them? The fineness of these movements, it takes away that I'll skip it, right? I'll crank out 100 of these and call it a day. And then it's it never even happened. There was no process of what was happening internally. But when we slow down our movements and do them with great intention, that's a game changer. And it trains the whole of us to do that with other things, right? If I can do that with a squat, I can start doing that with my thoughts. There's an idea. If I can do that with squats, I can do that with the emotions that I'm not totally sure how to break down or handle or process, right? The body is a vehicle for teaching the rest of us to do that. And the last thing in that beginner's mind is to return to playfulness. The fun, the ease, that childlike being that we've kind of been conditioned and told needs to shut off at some point, right? Because now we're adults and we have to do adult things. We have to be adults. There's, paying the bills. Can we make that fun? Maybe I dance while I pay the bills. I don't know. But what are the ways where we can enjoy humor? We can enjoy moving our body in odd ways, or just dancing around or rolling on the floor or whatever. What are the ways we come into community with other people that are joyful and exciting and playful? And between those three things, breath, movement, and playfulness, it's really powerful modes. Each of them are so powerful to returning to that beginner's mind, that foundation that is full of intention, full of virtue, full of possibility, because it teaches us to do the most important things to us well. Here we go, back to basics.